Hello, this is Janet Michael. In addition to hosting The Valley Today each weekday at noon on the River 95.3, I also produce podcasts, and I'm excited to introduce you to a new podcast series in partnership with Lord Fairfax Community College. Having provided higher education and career training for the past half-century, LFCC is tightly interwoven into the fabric of the Northern Shenandoah Valley and Piedmont regions. Join me every week for conversations with current and former students to hear their funny and inspiring stories as we learn about their journey to higher education, the role that LFCC has played, where they are now, and where they plan to go. We'll also talk to current and former professors about their experiences and best memories of LFCC over the past 50 years. Get every single episode as they're released on our website at theriver953.com under the podcast tab, or you can subscribe for free in Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, on Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search for LFCC Stories. Hello and welcome to The Valley Today. I am your host, Janet Michael. Happy Tuesday as you are listening to the show today. It is Tourism Tuesday and it is Lorraine's turn at the mic for our conversation today. So we are on the Zoom screen chatting with Edie from the Luray Page Chamber of Commerce, and her guest is Lisa Cubbage with Jordan Hollow Stables. Edie, how are you doing? I can't see you on the Zoom screen, but I know you're there.
I'm good. I'm staying out of the cold because I don't like the snow.
Yeah, it is painful. I was joking with you before we started recording that the dogs love the snow, but they don't like the cold. So it's a conundrum every time I let them outside.
I hate both equally, so it's okay.
So Lisa, Jordan Hollow Stables, I assume you offer trail rides and things like that. How does cold weather impact you being able to offer your services to people?
Well, believe it or not, people come out in the cold to ride, and we get people from all over. They bundle up. I always encourage them to dress warm socks, a toboggan, something warm, and especially warm hands. Make sure you have extra socks and also gloves. That keeps them good and warm, because when you're on the back of the horse riding, remember, you're not really moving. They're doing all the work. So therefore, you can get cold really easy. But we've had a lot of people inquire and want to ride. And of course, the winter weather plays a big part when it's very windy or snowy, icy, rainy. We don't ride on those days for the safety of the rider and also the safety of the horses.
So tell me a little bit about Jordan Hollow Stables. How long have you had it? What kinds of things do you guys offer there?
Well, we've been in business since 2005. We were once located over at the Jordan Hollow Inn, and then they were sold out to another company, and we moved over onto the other side of the property. We lease 150 acres of wooded trails from a private resident down the road, and we have over 35 different trails that we can ride on. We have over 23 horses. Of course, we don't use all of them at one time. We kind of alternate so that they all get a break. A lot of my horses are rescue horses that were actually wound up in the hands of a kill buyer and to purchase for meat. And they were good horses that were nice horses, just needed a good home and good love. We rescued those. We bought them from the meat buyer, brought them down there. The guests love them, we love them, and the horses love them. And I tell my guests that, they tell me, they say, you have such good horses. And I said, well, a lot of it is because of you. Because when you reach down, you pet them and make them feel like they're special, they'll always give you a good ride. But we have to make sure that the horses are polite and that they are well-mannered. We can't have anything that has any bad issues that would cause any harm or any safety hazards for them or the rider especially. But we do have 150 acres of wooded trails with over 35 different trails to ride on. And they're located actually on the foothills of the Shenandoah Mountain. So you're not right up into the mountains, but the terrain is good. It's not rocky, cliffy, anything that would put anybody in harm's way. So therefore we can offer it to children. We take children out from ages 7 on up. All the adults, we have to make sure everybody is under our weight limit of 240 pounds for the safety of the rider and, of course, the safety of the horse. But it's a lot of fun. A lot of people come. We schedule rides 3 times a day in the summer. When the time changes is when we start offering the 3 times a day, which is at 10 o'clock, 12:30, and 2:30.
I bet you have some great photo opportunities too, being able to get
We do.
into the woods on the trails on horseback, which obviously puts you up higher than if you were just walking on a trail.
Of course. And that's one of the things that we do as well. Once we get our guests mounted up onto the horses, we offer pictures. If they have a camera, a cell phone, they would like to have pictures to take home with them as a souvenir to themselves. And they're also welcome to take pictures on the trail as well. We have a lot of wildlife back there. We have got tons of deer, and they reside back there, and they're very used to the horses because the horses also reside on the same property. And so they're pretty, they know each other very well, so they don't spook at those. We also have some other critters that run around. We little foxes, little raccoons. You see them every now and then, not too often in the daytime. And coyote likes to run around there at times, and but they'll run from you as soon as they see you. We've had sightings of them, so it's a lot of nice things, of course, to see back there.
So when somebody reaches out to you and says, "Hey, I want to book a trail ride for me, my husband, and my 2 kids," do you have any kind of like a screening process to find out have they ever ridden before so that you can pair them up with the right horse?
Absolutely. That's why I do not take bookings online. It's much easier one-on-one with a person over the phone. They do have to leave a credit card number. We don't put any deposit charges on it. We do that because weather plays a big part with our trail rides. And it's just we go on that good policy, the good word that you will, within 24 hours, cancel your ride if you need to. Putting a deposit down is a lot of money for rides, but anyhow, yeah, I like to screen to find out the weight of people, the size, how tall they are, so that when I prepare the horses, because I do get all the horses prepared the night before, and I always write down the weight and the height of people, children, and also we do offer rides for special needs children. We have a lot of those that come. Our horses are really used to that. And we have a lot of the special needs, autism, Down syndrome, just different things. And we've also had people that has rode that actually has had lost limbs. We actually had, I cannot think of her name right off, but she was an Olympic swimmer and she had no legs, and she had brought her family, and she had 2 prosthetic legs, and she rode with us, and we took pictures and put that on the page.
Well, you see a lot of things in movies and on television about horses being very therapeutic, that a lot of people who are struggling with issues, either physically or mentally, horses seem to be able to bridge that gap and be able to connect with people and let them do things that they never would have done ordinarily.
Well, a lot of people don't realize this, but horses have very large hearts. And that's how come they are therapeutic, especially to the special needs children and people. It just has a way of drawing the tension right out of you when you're near a horse. Also, they're very smart animals. People think horses are dangerous. They're not really dangerous. They're cowards by nature, which means they're afraid of everything that would look scary, like a plastic bag on the trail maybe, but we've got them used to stuff like that so that they won't think that they're harmed. Always remember, anything that does not live in the field with the horse is a predator. So we get them used to everything that's out there. And of course, like I say, everything out on the trails, they're used to all the animals. They see them pretty much on a daily basis.
So when you were talking earlier about the miles and miles, 34, 35 miles of trails that you have, did you have to build those trails? Were they already on the property and you just had to kind of tweak them to make them work for a horse trail ride?
Well, what happened back in 2005 when I started leasing the property, there was just one trail that went completely around the perimeter of the property. Since then, throughout the years that I've had the property, me and the girls that work with me, and I have little volunteers that come in and help. And actually, that's how I get my guides, and I'll go into that later. But anyhow, we would go out in the wintertime is the absolute best time because we're not that busy. And the wintertime, when all the poison ivy stickers and stuff like that die down, you can pretty much see where is a good place to make new trails. So we make new ones. In fact, I just finished 2 brand new trails just last week.
So how long does it depend on the length of the trail for how long the trail ride goes, or do you book for an amount of time? How does that work?
The time is an hour and a half long. And to be honest with you, you can't go through all the trails within that period of time. Now, we do offer 2 different rides. We offer a walking pace ride, which is at a strict walk. Then we offer a walk trot ride. And both rides are safe for beginners and kids. The walk trot ride, you start out the first half hour at a walk so that everybody gets used to their horses and how they go. And the guides are really good about working with the people. You kind of get a riding lesson in with your ride as well. They're very sociable and very knowledgeable. And after about a half hour to the ride, when everybody's used to their horses, then we pick up little tiny trots, and they're only done in short increments, maybe about, I say about probably 50 feet at a time, just enough to give everybody a lot of fun. And we show everybody how to do it where you're not bouncing on the horse. There's a certain way you can ride that's simple and easy, but a lot of times when horses just start trotting, and a person doesn't know how to like kind of raise up in the saddle a little bit and get your bottom up, you bounce a lot. But the trot ride actually is a very popular ride with us. We have a lot of people come and really enjoy that.
Well, let's take a quick commercial break. When we come back, can we talk a little bit about the guides? You mentioned a second ago how you get them. Can we talk about that? And I kind of want to hear what a day in your life is like taking care of these animals. Can we do that in the next segment?
Of course, I'd be happy to.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to continue our conversation with Lisa Cubbage. She is from Jordan Hollow Stables. It is Tourism Tuesday, Luray Page County edition. As you were listening to the show today, we, of course, have pre-recorded it on the Zoom screen. Either way, we are going to be back in just a couple of minutes.
Got a financial decision to make or a goal to reach, but you don't know where to start? You've come to the right place. Introducing Quick Money Chats with the Northern Shenandoah Valley Financial Education Program. Visit tinyurl.com/quickmoneychat to schedule a virtual chat with a staff member or trained volunteer. We won't tell you what to do, but we will give you the tools you need to choose wisely. And because Virginia Cooperative Extension is part of Virginia Tech and Virginia State, your land-grant universities, you can be sure that our information is credible and trustworthy. And you'll know that we aren't trying to sell you something. Maybe you want to improve your credit score, or reduce your banking overdraft fees, or even figure out if you can afford to buy that car. Sorting through tons of information on the internet can be overwhelming, and sometimes it can be hard to know who to trust. Schedule a Quick Money Chat and get the information you need to take action. Go to tinyurl.com/quickmoneychat and get financial education personalized for you.
Welcome back to the Valley today. I am your host, Janet Michael. Happy Tuesday as you are listening to the show today. It is, of course, Tourism Tuesday, and it's Lorraine's turn at the mic. So we are chatting today with Lisa Cubbage from Jordan Hollow Stables. And Lisa, we talked in the first segment about the different types of trails and the horses and that sort of thing. And you mentioned a couple of times your guides, because you don't just put people on the horse and the horse just magically knows where to go on the trail. You have guides that take people out on these rides.
I do. And that is one of the things with any trail business. You just can't hire somebody off the street. They have to have a little bit of knowledge about the safety and also about the horses itself. So what I do, I kind of prep my guides ahead of time. I offer volunteering. The young people, the kids in school, when they're out for the summer, they would love to spend the day out here at the stables being around the horses. So I let volunteers, certain ones, I make sure that they know how to act because I want them to behave around my guests and be a good example to the business. But anyhow, I have different guides little volunteers that will come in. I've had my one guide that I've had the longest is Molly Falter. And Molly was my first riding student in 2005 at the age of 5. And she has been by my side ever since. In fact, Molly is going to help me this spring. She's going to kind of come in and give me a couple days off, so I won't have to work 6 days a week and pick up on my end. So she's really, she's going to be my right arm, and she is just wonderful. But you have to prepare the young kids. They have to know about the safety of the horses, and of course you have to have the horses safe. One of the things that we do is we like to go around and we scratch them on the back end of their tail and their hiney, and people say, oh, your horses kick. No, because we scratch their hiney so much that they think they're going to get a butt rub, so they don't do that. And of course I don't want a horse there that's going to have any kind of issue that would put me or any of my young people in harm's way. But my young guides, one of the things, I train them up, I give them free riding lessons, and they get to hop on the back of rides, pay attention to our guides. And actually, when they're old enough, then they can just hop on those rides and they know everything what to do. And that's how I really generated my guides. And all of them have been very well. They've all worked out good. And of course, then they grow up, they go off to college. And that's always a sad day. But they never forget. I hear from them frequently and they come to visit.
Well, and I think sometimes when people go on these trail rides, they come to a place like Jordan Hollow Stables and they just think that everything kind of happens by magic. But you're not just working when you have a trail ride group coming in. Having horses is a lot of work for them off the trail ride even.
It is. It is. We have to be at work about 8:30. All the horses are standing at the gates. We have our geldings, which are our male horses, on one field, and our female, which were mares, on the other field. We put out the feed, and the horses know exactly where they're to go when we open the gate. They come in politely. I can tell you if we're late, they come in very fast. They do wear watches, but anyhow, they come in, and as they're eating, we tie them up, we groom them out. In the wintertime, we put blankets on them. Blankets not only keep them dry, keeps bad fungus off of their backs and mud and stuff like that they would roll in, but it keeps them healthy as well. So we keep blankets on them in the winter. We pull the blankets off, we brush them out really good, and put them through the spa. And then we saddle them up. And of course, when the guests come, then we sign the guest up, bring them out, line the horses up. And we do assist the people on the horses. And during the COVID, we take precautions. We make sure that we keep our 6-foot distance, but we need to make sure everybody understands that when we have to assist you on a horse, there are a lot of times we're not doing that 6-foot distance. And we let people know that when they call and they make a reservation, if they don't feel like that's safe for them, they know that ahead of time. It's not a requirement that they have to wear the mask on the trails. They certainly may. Horses are 6 feet plus apart in the hack line. That's one of the things. They do keep a social distancing. No horse likes to run up in the rear end of another.
And that makes it a whole lot easier. They just are socially distant by nature.
Right, exactly.
So what do you do on an off day if you don't have a trail ride schedule? Do you still take the horses out so they're in the habit of going out every day, or do they appreciate a day off every once in a while?
They get a day off. That is one of the things. When they do take the trail rides out, I have 3 trail rides a day. I don't do them back to back. I allow a half hour in between each trail ride for the horses to come back to get water and hay. They work. They work for their blankets. They get fly mask in the wintertime, summertime, to keep the flies off of their face. And but we give them the correct amount of time for rest. I don't work them constantly, and a lot of times we rotate them out. But yeah, and on a day we're off, there's still things that need to be done. The horses still need to be fed. You got to bring them in. And of course, another thing that we have to offer at the trail riding place is we have 2 little goats. That's our welcoming committee. We have Skittles and Snickers. They're little miniature dwarf goats, and of course, they're a big joy to the kids. We also have 2 Great Pyrenees dogs that keeps our horses and all our little critters safe from all the little things in the woods, like the coyote that might want to visit our little chicken coop. But they run all that off, and they're very pleasant, big dogs, and very friendly. We also have two beautiful peacocks, and we have some little bantam chickens as well. So it's a lot of different things for kids to enjoy. We do have a swing set up for them. If you have a family that maybe the youngster is too young to ride, and they need something to do while the family's riding, we have a swing set. And of course, that's why we got the animals for them to play with as well.
Now, do you do trail rides for special events or for groups? If I'm having a girls' night out, or I have a nonprofit that maybe wants to do a fundraiser in the form of a trail ride, do you do those kinds of things as well?
Well, we do have different people come in big groups, and larger groups, we do offer discounts. We also offer for the BSA, which is the Boy Scouts of America. The girls and the boys have, they've kind of joined together. And in April and May and June, and also in September, October, and November are our busiest times on the weekends with the Scouts. They come, and we do have a place located on another property about a half a mile down the road where they can camp. And we make the camping and the merit badge, the horsemanship merit badge program very, very reasonable. I have two retired friends of mine, Deborah and Charlie Bannon. They live in Annandale, and they come up and they do the merit badge program. Both of them are really into the Scouts. And so they donate their time. They don't take any money for it. And we've made it so reasonable. And they earn the badge in one day. It's a fun day when the Scouts come. They arrive early. We go through the health and safety of the horse, and then we go through the grooming. They tack the ring horse. Actually, those days are really good days for our trail guides because they don't have to do any work. The Scouts do all the work. But we offer that. And we also have birthday parties. I have a picnic table, and I because it's so much going on during the day, I can't give parties, but I tell people it's there if you would like to, and you just take your own trash with you is fine. Also, another thing that we offer as our special is our special occasion. We have a little iron table and chairs set up on the trail in a nice secluded area. And we offer those special rides, and they could be for birthday, engagements, or anything special. We've done a lot of those. We set up the table with a formal tablecloth. We also have flowers ordered. We have 2 wine glasses, and we also have a non-alcoholic beverage there for them to enjoy. We've had many people get engaged, had birthdays and anniversaries. It's just been very, very pleasant. And it's a private ride for them.
So what are your hours? I mean, give me kind of the rundown of how people can get in touch with you, when you're open, what are all of those items?
Okay, our website is www.jordanhollowstables.com. And our phone number is 540-778-2623. And you can give us a call, or you certainly can email us through the website for any information you would like. But again, we always ask that you reserve over the phone for security reasons with a credit card. But you can also, our rides go out at 10 a.m., 12:30, and 2:30 in the spring and summer and fall. And then once the time changes into the fall and winter hours, we offer the rides at 11 a.m. and also 1:30. It gives people time for the hours to warm up in the winter time. Now, the only days that we don't work is on Sunday. We work Monday through Saturday.
And do you have a Facebook page that people can get more information there as well?
Yes, ma'am. We have the Facebook page would be under Jordan Hollow Stables /trail rides.
Awesome. I think this is a fun way to just get out of the house. And in the middle of COVID, I imagine a lot of people are looking for new things to do outside of the house. So kudos to you for being able to offer this to them.
Well, thank you. Yeah, the children, we've had a lot of children this year. And one of the things we do try to really have patience with the children when they come, because they're excited about riding, but then when they've never rode before, it's a little scary at first. So we take the time and walk them around and get them used to it, or hitch them up to a line to the guide. And but we've had a lot of kids this year since the COVID. They've been kind of locked inside, and I know that people are wanting to just get out and do something that's safe. and available. So we try to offer our rides to all who's interested. And we have people come from all over. We have from the DC area, Maryland, New York, down south. They just come from everywhere, especially around spring break.
So, Edie, I don't know if you're a horse person or not, but I do know that you are a goat person because we met the goats when we did a radio show a couple of months ago. Have you been out to meet Skittles and Snickers?
I have not. I am not a horse person. I don't like tall things. I fall down too easily. See the weight limit, the usual. But now that I know there are goats,
Yeah, that's a game changer.
especially
Hey,
because
that
there's
weight
work
limit
goats.
thing isn't going to
Yes.
apply to you much longer because you are just knocking it out of the ballpark with this healthy lifestyle you have chosen.
She is. And when she gets
Trying.
under that weight limit, when she's getting close, I'm going to start bothering her to come up there.
I will come and ride with her. So there we go. We'll do a
I
radio
would love
show.
both of you
I've
to.
joked. Carrie Hahn from my Shenandoah County version of Tourism Tuesday talks a lot with Fort Valley Ranch, and she and I have joked forever about recording a radio show on horseback. So maybe I'll just do a whole bunch of
Right.
Tourism Tuesdays on horseback. But Lisa, thank you for meeting me on the Zoom screen today. It has been fun having a conversation with you.
Well, thank you so much. It's so nice meeting you and talking with you about our horse business. And again, we're looking forward to a new year, 2021, and hopefully everything will get safe again like it was, and more time to do things outside and inside.
We are going to wrap up our conversation for Tourism Tuesday, Luray Page County edition. We have been chatting with Edie from Luray Page Chamber of Commerce and her guest, Lisa Cubbage. She is with Jordan Hollow Stables. I will put links and all the information that we discussed today on the show notes page so you can go there and get all of the information. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll have a brand new episode of The Valley Today ready to go for you just a few minutes after noon. So meet me here then.